talking about preparing live stream and stuff. I'm going live through Zoom to YouTube, so. All right, I'm live now. We live on YouTube. So let me edit this stuff up. And yeah, thumbnail, which I'm going to drop on. Drop this thumbnail on. Yep. Okay, good. Got notification. Save. Details. All right, what is up, guys? It is No Limit Eddie. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm back with another freaking video. We're actually with a live stream here today. Just getting some small things set up and going live through Zoom on YouTube. So we do it that way. You kind of got to do the extracurriculars after you set the live stream up, not before you set the live stream up, unless you schedule it out. But sometimes we just spontaneously hop on a live stream. That's usually how I choose to do it. So I'm just dropping in a thumbnail real quick. Today, we're going to have the informative expat on here, who is my sister. If you guys don't know that, I have some new viewers here. Okay, how to win 2024. Boom. Yep. All right, all good on that. And then also want to drop this thing in my chat too.
Oh yeah, we don't
boom, boom, boom. Okay, yes. Emails, funnels. Drop that joint in the description. But yeah, guys, so we are live. It is for us New Year's, quote unquote. If you do it by the Gregorian calendar, is January 1st. It's pretty close to January 1st for us. It's nighttime over here. We are in Egypt, but for you guys who are there in the States, you guys are just now starting your day, your New Year's Eve. Under the Hebrew calendar, New Year's not right now. It's a few months after this. But most of the world functions off of January to December. So, yeah. All right, here we go. Trying to just copy this link in. If you guys are in here right now, drop on in. Talk about some New Year's resolutions. What do you guys have planned for this year? Let us know. Let us know. Okay. Description. Yeah, let us know what you guys have planned. I think my sister's on here. I can't see her. I don't know because I'm not there right now. I'm on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm on here.
Okay.
What's up, guys? It's the informative expat. Hope you guys are having a good day. It's the morning of your day, so hopefully you guys are having a good day, productive. And go ahead and smash that like button as you hop in.
Okay. Oh, yeah. 1 second, guys. I'm almost finished. Just want to go to the live stream itself now. Drop some stuff into the chat.
You need the link? I have the link.
Nah, I'm gonna drop in this joint. The stream. I'm gonna drop in a link in the chat so I can pin it up there real quick. Here we go.
I haven't been live in so long. It's been a minute since I've been live, actually.
Really?
It's been a long time since I've been live. At least probably like 6 months.
Dang.
Yeah, probably like 6 months.
All right, perfect. So, okay, we're good now. So we got the link into the chat. So let me actually go over to, I guess, Zoom. So you said you got YouTube pulled up already? You can see the YouTube and everything?
I'm here, so I can drop the link.
All right.
I see everything.
I'm trying to see if I can have Zoom on one half of my screen and then YouTube on the other half. Yeah. Dang.
Is it coming up or it's not letting you?
No, it's tight, but it's not fully. All right, now I got it kind of good enough. I just can't click on the YouTube stream. But yeah, okay, Shan. So look, if we talk about how to win in 2024. So, like you said, so I haven't posted in like 2 months on the No Limit Eddie channel. You haven't posted for a minute, but at the end of the day, right now, we're not even focused too much on posting YouTube. We've been working a lot on this live event that we've kind of been putting together, right? To make sure that the streets are well fed on the financial side of things. So I think one of the things that you get a lot on your Instagram and your TikTok, which is where you're a lot more clouded, is okay. I see you traveling around. I see you doing this thing, but how are you pulling it together financially? Because when you're in the States, you're just working a job. So people just saw
Right.
you kind of just working a normal 9 to 5 job, driving your Kia Forte. But now it's like, okay, what the heck? She's like three years on, and she like, how is she surviving? I know she didn't save up all this money, right? So I think that's a question you get a lot, and of course here on YouTube for me, I get that question a lot in my email as well. So that's kind of one thing we've been working on, but kind of tell them about your perspective about what we've been working on for this live event that we have coming out for them.
I mean, I feel like this is going to be a really, really huge event. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that link and sign up because this is something you don't want to miss. We've been working really hard behind the scenes. We've been super dedicated for months just trying to get this together for you guys. So I feel like this is something you definitely don't want to miss, especially if you're supporters of the channel. I say go ahead, click that link and sign up so you don't miss this event.
Right, right. And it's not even just supporters of the channel. It's like if you really want to level up in life for 2024, I think a big portion of that is financial freedom, right?
Correct.
If we look
Yep.
at any point in history, you cannot be free without the financial means to be free, right? So even during slavery time, like you could buy your emancipation papers, right? And so the first step to any form of freedom is that financial freedom. And this is why, because I have that financial freedom, I also have the location freedom. So I can be in Egypt today, I can be in Thailand tomorrow, I can be in Istanbul the next week, right? Because I now have that location freedom, which was first purchased by my financial freedom, right? And we also have that time freedom too. So it doesn't matter what time of day it is, you know what I mean? We're making money. So I go to sleep, I wake up, money's coming in, right? So I don't have to necessarily, say, okay, I have to dedicate 8 hours of my day to this thing, right? Like for example, most people will consider me a YouTuber, but I haven't posted a video in 2 months, right? Most people cannot just say, I'm not going to work for 2 months and their life still continues to flow. But
Right.
with the way that I've set myself up and the way that Shannon set up, we don't have to show up to work every single day, film a video every single day, be a monkey in a circus to sustain our lifestyles and to sustain ourselves. And it's not that we've just set up so many different streams of income. You just have one main stream that has kind of a lot of branches that come off of it, right? To where you got income that's coming in residually, regardless of how active you are. So of course, when you post more, you make more, and but either way, you can still make money whether you're actively working or not, right?
Correct.
Everybody's coming on. Definitely smash a like. What do you got to say on that, Shan?
I say definitely setting up an online income stream and just having, like you say, the financial freedom and the location freedom is like the number one thing because I feel like a lot of people are getting tired of working and trading every single hour of their life for a job that will replace them tomorrow if they drop dead. So online income and just having that online freedom is a huge, huge thing. And I feel like it's becoming a almost kind of like a trend for you to have an online income set up. So it's like jump on the trend now because pretty soon they're going to be replacing everybody's jobs with AI. So you might as well run it up while you can before your
Right.
job gets replaced with AI.
Exactly, exactly. So I think today we're going to be talking about how to win in 2024. I think that's the main topic of this live stream. We're definitely going to hop on it here in just a second. Let's wait till we get some people into the building. Make sure we get some likes up first. Everybody that's coming in, smash a like. Leave a like on today's video, guys. Get the likes up. And drop a chat in the comment section as well. Where you guys are watching from? What state are you in? What do you guys have planned for the new year? Do you still believe in setting New Year's resolutions? Do you not believe in New Year's resolutions? Are you like me to where like your New Year really doesn't technically start until like March, around March? But you still kind of use the Gregorian calendar as a reference of time. Let me know. So where you guys watching from and what are your guys' goals for 2024? Let's make this chat super interactive, right? Make it super interactive. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I know I've been going for a little bit of time, but I'm happy to be back here. We should be knocking out some content for you guys here pretty soon, for sure, for sure. And then something you had mentioned that I wanted to talk on. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, like you said, a lot of people are kind of getting tired of. A lot of people are waking up to the reality.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That they're on a 40, 40, 40 plan. They're going to work for 40 years, for 40 hours a week to retire and live off of 40% of what they struggled to live off of when it was 100%. Right.
Right.
And so a lot of people now are getting aware that, okay, this type of this system is not going to really work long term. It has no longevity. You know what I mean? I need to, if I really want to be able to retire, I really want to be able to, eventually have that golden egg, as they call it, at 65 years old retirement. I'm going to need to do something different because the way that inflation is running rampant, by the time you actually do retire, that money that you thought you had is really not there anymore.
Mhm.
And so you pretty much are in a position where you are a slave for life. You have to work forever. And like
Right.
Warren Buffett said, if you don't figure out a way to make money in your sleep, you will work until you die. Right. And so far, his statement has proven to be true from what I see with my own eyes. And so that's one of the big things that I always try to focus on is how am I going to set up streams of income that work even when I'm not working actively.
No, that's true. And you definitely see it now. I see a lot of it on TikTok, and people are like, why is this person still working at, Dollar Tree or
Mm-hmm.
Target? This person should be at home. And you can see like the old frail person literally trying to stock shelves, and it's taking them forever to even do their job because they're so old and they shouldn't even be working. But they have to work because nobody supports them, and then like you said, they're living off that 40% and the inflation is hitting. So it's like if you can't even live off of 100% of that money, you're barely making on 100. There's no way that you can make it off that 40% when you retire.
Right, right, right. Exactly, exactly. And so then you have the elements of most people, you know, they're working so much, they never even have time to be themselves, never have time to discover who they actually are, never have time to contribute of anything of substance, anything of value to the world. And so then you have people who become depressed, right? And depression is a feeling to let you know, hey, you're not living up to your fullest potential, right? And so then you have, oh, everybody depression. Now you got people on opioids, and now it's a revolving cycle where it's just one L leads to another L leads to another L, like begets like, you know.
Right.
For everybody who's on here right now, smash the like button on this live stream. Let's get up to like 10 likes on this live. And then drop in the chat, like, what do you guys have planned for 2024? I know some people are probably going to be getting what's 10 in the West Coast, so 11, 12, 1. So probably 1 p.m. if you're on the East Coast. So maybe you guys are drinking right now. I don't know what you guys got all planned, but drop it in the chat and let us know, guys. Let us know. I remember my mom always used to be like, she don't like driving on New Year's because, everybody's drinking and driving and all that type of stuff. So as I was riding my motorcycle today, I was thinking about that. Like, I don't have to even worry about drunk drivers in a place like Egypt. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which is what they call, like, it's a dry country. It's like it's not alcohol here, even though there is, but it's just very, very, very few spots that actually have alcohol. You got to have a passport, and you can't be an Egyptian basically drinking. So it's a little bit harder to do that. But yeah, like I don't have to worry about drunk drivers driving around and all kind of crazy stuff. So that was it is dawned on me today that that's not something I got to deal with.
That's crazy.
Um,
Yeah, it's been a while
no, for
since
real,
we
right?
celebrated, like the New Year's tradition. I don't even remember what we did on this year. I just remember the countdown, but I don't remember what
Countdown.
led up to it. It's been so long since we actually celebrated any of these days.
Okay, Logic said, well, since New Year doesn't begin until March, I guess I'll let you know what I have planned there. Well, yeah, exactly, exactly. So I don't know if you just now tuning in, but that's what we said. So I know the Gregorian calendar is usually January, which most people are going to celebrate in January. But then, like our New Year, the Hebrew New Year is going to start closer to around March, Passover, and things like that. But I still use the Gregorian calendar pretty much as a metric of unit of time. Um,
Hmm.
12 months is a significant time to measure progress within. So that's usually how I use it. But yeah, shout out Logic 1611 for being in here, dropping a comment.
What's up, Logic?
Yeah, everybody who's on here, man, definitely let us know what you guys have planned for the new year and things like that. But when I talk about like how to win, Shan, how to win in 2024, like what comes to mind for you?
Success, freedom, uh just having my own, like claiming my own time. I feel like it's a big thing, and being able to do what I want to do that will make me happy. I don't want to be a slave to somebody else's dream. I'd rather be working to further my dream and my progress. But to do that
Mm-hmm.
for somebody else while they sit back and they have their retirement plan and they're creating generational wealth for their children, and I'm on the losing end of that stick, that's not what I want, you know. So I would love to be successful, you know.
Got you, got you. And so if you say, like, when you think of, let's say for the viewers, right? Because some people think that we're winning, right? For us, we've kind of gotten used to, okay, living abroad, traveling abroad, okay, stay at this hotel, stay at this Airbnb. It's kind of just regular. But for some people that are in the States, like when we were in the States, we would look at people on YouTube, you know, like Unapologetic Nomads, people like Walter Maya, people like that. We're like, dang, these people are living, these people are living life. You know what I mean? Like we didn't know that we weren't doing it. So it was like it was new, it was a spectacle to us, right? But now once you
Right,
kind of do it,
right.
you're doing it for so long, it just becomes regular routine, right?
Yeah.
But for let's say for people who like this is what they want to do, like how would you say like what would be your game plan or your advice to them to kind of start to travel more often?
Of course, you have to have some income in order to travel. You have to have some money saved up and put away. So that's definitely number one is to get your finances in order so that you can pay for the trip.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, is planning. I don't feel like I went super hard on planning, but I feel like I did a lot on kind of like research of watching what
Yeah,
other
yeah.
people were doing and hearing other people's stories and how they went about it. So I would say,
Uh-huh.
definitely watch a lot of videos, watch a lot of content, you know, and just see what's out there. I feel like that's a lot of research.
But we need
Um,
to talk about research too, because a lot of people have planned trips and they talk to us about their plans, and it's like, what did you research? Like it's like they almost didn't research anything.
I
So
feel
I
like
almost feel like the line of questioning you got to think about when traveling. A lot of people, I guess, they don't think about it from that perspective. It's like people are not afraid. Me and you are scary people. So it's
right,
like we need to know any and every obstacle that could potentially go wrong so we can counter it. Most
right.
people just do things so like willy nilly. It's like, bro, like where did you plan? You know? So I think even like when planning, what do you suggest people to do? Because you can't just say watch videos. Like watch videos about what?
Okay, so when I watch videos usually before I plan. So that
Okay.
way, when people are saying this is going wrong or I had trouble here, I make a
Mm-hmm.
list of those things and say, okay, let me make sure I'm really looking into the visa so that this doesn't happen to me, or let me look into other transportation options so this doesn't happen
Mm-hmm.
to me.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, so I feel like that's kind of why I watch videos before I start planning so that I can kind of get a
Mm-hmm.
list of things. But I feel like you and I don't know, I feel like we have a different thinking style when it comes to planning, like you said, because we're scary when it comes to that type of stuff. Um, so you're saying like basically what should they actually
Yeah,
plan?
so okay, so my line of thinking is this. Okay, Logic said I plan to travel at the end of 2024. Yeah, willing. I'm getting really close. Okay, where do you want to travel to, Logic? Where do you want to travel to? Are you thinking domestically inside of the US or internationally outside the US? But the way that I think about it is this when it comes to planning, and this is not even a topic of the video, it's about how to win, but we'll get into the topic
Right.
here in a second. But I gotta plug my laptop in. 1 second, guys. 1 second.
Yeah, hurry up with that one. All right, guys, if you guys are in here, go ahead and smash that like button and drop a comment and let us know what are your plans for the new year and where you are tuning in from. Okay, Logic said, I plan on traveling, but I have heard different things on how much income per month you require.
Okay,
Okay.
got you. So it depends on what country you're going to. So I'll answer a lot of questions, and I'll go back to the point that we're talking about planning. Um, Internationally different country. Okay, yeah. So my standpoint on that logic is 1.5x. So what I do is like, okay, what countries do I want to go to? Then I'll look up cost of living in these countries. So there's two sites. They're the first one I pop up. If you look up like cost of living in this country or cost of living in that country, they're going to tell you extremely accurate numbers. Like I don't know how they do it, but they're extremely accurate, like to the cent.
Right.
And what I do is say, okay, for the lifestyle I want to live, I plan on eating out this amount of times. I plan on doing these activities this amount of time, whatever. I'll get a budget. It's gonna say, okay, $1,000 a month, let's say, for the cost for a lifestyle that I want to live in that particular location. Then I say, okay, cool. I need to make 1.5x. So I need to make $1,500 to comfortably live in that location. So 1.5x, what that allows you to do is every 2 months, you save another 1 month living expenses, right? So if I live in a place where I'm gonna spend about $1,000, okay, let's say, but I make 1,500, 1 month I make 1,500, let's just say, then I got 500 left over, saving. Next month, 1,500 again, 500, save it. So now every 2 months, you essentially have another 1 month living expenses. So in case anything ever goes wrong, or for some reason you spend more on 1 month or less on another month, you kind of have that savings. Now, that 1.5x to me is the minimum that you would want to do to come to live in a location. So that's kind of my mindset around it. And usually, if you're an American, you're gonna make more than 1.5x, but to me, that's the bare minimum. You know what I mean?
Right. Just to be
Yeah.
safe.
Mm-hmm. And then, oh, we got Manny in the building. What up, Manny? So,
Hey,
um,
Daddy.
what we're talking, okay, you're planning, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to planning trips, this hey guys, so with planning trips, I think a problem that people have, Shan, is they watch videos and fall in love with the location before they've done a due diligence required. And so then they end up loving the location so much that they go there, but it's not the right location to go to. There's so many people who are
Right.
like, oh, I'm moving to Thailand, I'm moving this place, moving that place, not understanding the laws are crap for visa, right? You get 30 days on upon arrival. Maybe you can extend it to 60 days maximum, but you got to leave out the country every 2 months, right? When people have fallen in love with the perceived experience they will have, they don't even do the proper research behind it.
Right.
So I think that's a big problem. That's a really big problem.
Yeah,
You know.
don't ignore the red flags. Definitely don't ignore the red flags. Definitely take that into
Mm-hmm.
account. I wouldn't say like cancel a whole trip if you see one red flag, because every country
Like,
is going to have some type of red flag, but you just have to take that into account with planning, and definitely keep that in the back of your mind when you're looking to go to these countries.
exactly. And it's like, look at videos. My process is always, okay, watch some videos, see if I even like the country. Do I even like it? Do I like the way it looks? Do I like the people? Do I like the food? Do I like the culture?
Mhm.
Then it's like, okay, it passes the basic I want to go here test. Then it's like,
Yeah,
okay, does it pass the red tape? What are the entry visa for an American? How long do I want to stay there? Okay, well, what's the extension process for an American? Okay, now I'm looking at the cost of living. What's the cost of living for an American, right? The standard of life, different things like that. What are the laws? Do they have weird, funny laws that I don't agree with? Or like, what's the culture? Do I agree with the culture of the land, of the layout, right? Then from there, if it passes that, then I do a deep dive into like, okay, let me really, you know what I mean, watch videos and do the due diligence from there.
and I feel like another thing people skip past is like if
Mhm.
your visa for that country is only going to last, say, 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, but nobody will rent to you unless you get a 1 year, you pay 1 year in advance. That's
Mhm.
not a good thing. And you're going to spend all that money to pay for that 1 year, and then you're going to have to leave, and you may not even be able to get back in that second time. You don't know.
Right,
So now
right,
you wasted a year of money on rent. Yes, it's cheaper, but still, who wants to just give out free money?
right. Exactly. You know what I mean? That's the important part too. You know what I mean? Just understanding all the ultra intangibles. You know.
Right.
Okay, Manny said, "Sweet, I caught you live checking in from Alberta." Okay, I know I've got Manny's over in Canada. Um,
Uh,
I want to go to Ghana and Portugal next year. Y'all willing? Okay, yeah, for sure. Like, Ghana's a place that just intrigues me as well.
yeah.
But it's like every time I want to go, it's like some type of weird stuff going on. You know what I mean? Vaccine is this, that. It's like crap. What? It's always some little strange stuff. So,
Yeah.
Portugal. I think Shannon, you want to go to Portugal? Or
Yeah, I
somebody
wanted
else?
to go to Portugal.
Yeah,
Yeah. One of my friends
yeah.
actually went there, and she plans on moving there. She says she loves it. So,
Yeah, exactly. I know that's a popular one. I think we looked at Spain. I think it was Barcelona, Spain, but then they were doing a
hmm,
lot of robberies, and we were like, nah, we can't deal with that.
yeah, a lot of
Um,
setup. That's what I'm saying. Red flags.
yeah,
It was too many to ignore.
right. You want to be safe wherever you go, because and you guys understand. So me and Shan, are from Hanoi, homicide capital of LA. So we grew up, when I talk about we're scared, it's a level of paranoia that we had to operate within for the majority of our lives. And so when we left the States, we didn't want to still have to operate in that same, you almost have to live like a criminal and think like a criminal when you live in a place like LA, especially
Right.
in the trenches. So we kind of wanted to avoid that. And so when you live in a place like Egypt, you can kind of avoid a lot of that. You know what I mean? Like you can
Hmm.
have your phone out and nobody's going to drive on a motorcycle and snatch it. Like every day I walk out, I have my phone in my hand. It's like it's normal, it's calm, it's casual.
Right.
Some other countries, for example, that's not necessarily the case. You know what I mean? You walk around with your phone out, it's a good chance of getting snatched. You can be a woman
Hmm.
could just walk around with a purse, it's a good chance of getting snatched, right? So you got to understand kind of the demographics you're going into, and things like that of the country. So we're always kind of mindful, like what are they doing there that we're about to deal with if we were to go.
Right.
So boom, boom, boom. Okay, I'm simply wanting to set up some affairs here in the States. Depending on how it goes, I will have residual income every month. I'm trying to leave with a minimum of $4,000 per month residual. I heard folks say a minimum of 3,500 a month. What are your thoughts on this? Yeah. So it all depends on the country that you're looking to go to and lifestyle you plan on living. So far, I'll give you my thoughts on both. Setting up residual income in the States, I haven't necessarily ever seen it work. I've seen a lot of people like have like rental properties and different things like that. But if you have something that's kind of based in the States, it almost always requires you to, it's almost always something that goes wrong, that breaks, that forces you to have to go back and then manage it. Most people find that it's easier to just stay there and manage it than to try to manage it from overseas. So the people who I've seen have the most success are people who almost detach entirely from the United States, right? To the point where they make their income either from teaching online. I've seen that work for some people. I've seen other people have like content creation. To me, is the one we see work the most for people. Content creation, and that they funnel either into consultations or that they funnel into some type of digital product. What else have you seen work really well for people income wise? Military stuff hits. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
for
People
sure.
from the military who got that consistent income, they're the people who've been doing this from time. You know what I mean? Because they have that check coming in every single, I don't know, every month, 2 weeks, I don't know. But if you're willing to trade, I think 20 years to Uncle Sam, that usually is a really good safe bet. And then people who come here on savings, I never seen anybody like really last, no matter how long it is on savings.
Yeah.
Uh,
Eventually they run out because that's all they have.
they
So
run out or they start getting to the point where they're about to run out, fearful. Let me go back. You know what I mean? Let me figure out something. Let me figure out something else. So those are what I know. But 3,500, man, should be enough depending on the lifestyle you plan to live and where you're going. If you go to Dubai, that's rent. You know, so you
one
got to know
month.
the place you're going to. Yeah, you got to know the place you're going to. You know what I mean? But yeah, you can do a lot with 3,500 a month. Residual income will follow me no matter where I go. It's not tied to the U.S. Residual income comes. Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh,
You have the
perfect.
military. Yeah, so if you have the military stuff, man, like I've seen those people kind of thrive the most. You know what I mean? And they'll still do some other little small stuff, so like add in, but like you kind of have that peace of mind knowing, okay, I got the military income. So yeah, if you're in that position, logically, you're pretty solid. Okay, but how to win in 2024? Okay, so we kind of got a little bit off tangent. Look at this marsupials. Um, as far as how to win, like how do you win in 2024, guys? I feel like firstly, how can you win if we don't even we don't know what winning is, right? And so we have to define what it means to win, right? I think that's the first thing. And I think secondly, most people will never win in life because they never put themselves in a position to lose. People are so afraid of losing that they never win, but they don't understand we live in a world of duality. So I only have a right hand because I also have a left hand, right? There only is up because there's also a down. So the only way you can win is if there's also a chance of loss, right? And
Right.
so the game of winning requires you putting something at stake, putting something at risk to then hopefully gain a reward, right? At the end. In the beginning, the risk, even really small risks, seem big, right? In the beginning, because you just have so much inexperience. But eventually, you want to kind of build up your confidence to where you can take bigger risks and you can win at a bigger state or at a bigger scale. So for some people, like for example, Logic. For Logic, like leaving America is something that right now is a big risk, right? It's
Right.
a big risk. For us now, like to leave any country is not even it's not really that much of a thought, right? It's
No.
just like, okay, we do our checklist, boom, 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 check. All right, boom, let's go. You know what I mean? So eventually, in the beginning, the risks feel really big. Eventually, those same risks feel smaller. So then you want to level up the game again, so you can maybe win even a little bit more.
Right.
So yeah, that was no Oreo is the dog. Oreo is the dog. The cat. What do you call this cat, Shan? Because I refuse to call him such a name.
His name is Papa.
I call him Professor Smalls. So Professor Smalls is a cat, and then Oreo is a dog. So yeah, those guys are still with us. They're pretty much here with us all the time. If we travel, for a short period of time, we'll leave them in a country. One of us will stay behind, or we'll have some friends stay behind. Shout out to Someone Typical to watch them. But if we are traveling for a long period of time, then we'll take them with us. It's just a hassle to travel with pets if you guys haven't done it before.
So hassle, and it adds up, especially for a short amount of time, and then they have to get vaccines and all kind of stuff. So it's just
Exactly. It's very stressful for the animals. They got to get all kind of shots and checkups and dewormings, and sometimes they have quarantine for the animals and different things like that. So it's not the best for them. It's not the best for us. Then you got to have certain Airbnbs and this and that. So we usually try to just, if we travel short period of time, leave them. If we go a long period of time, if I'm going to be going for months, then we'll take them. Yeah, so I mean, yes, you got to define winning. You know what I mean? You got to define like what is even winning, right? And I think winning is different for every person. A win for, let's say somebody like, who's maybe somebody who's described as a winning person, maybe The Rock. A win for The Rock is going to be different than a win from a new actor, right? A callback might be a win for somebody. I want to get 3 callbacks this year. A win for The Rock is like, okay, I need to get 10, 12 movies. You know what I mean? Signed and produced. So winning kind of changes based off the level of which you're at. But I think the first step to winning is defining it, and the second step is understanding that I cannot win unless I'm willing to venture, right? Unless I'm willing to lose.
And I feel like winning is also like at different periods in your life, winning is something different to you, So I feel like that's a huge thing. Depends on where you're at in life as well.
Right, exactly. Shout out to Logic with the super chat. Congratulations on all the success, you two. Yeah, for sure. Appreciate that, Logic. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. That's something that I was telling Cheyenne. We were talking about this today, right? About the vision board and all that stuff. Yeah. So, I used to have a vision board, in my house. And on that vision board, I had all the things that I kind of wanted to achieve. Because I set this goal of like moving to Jordan. Jordan was the initial plan. It was Jordan. It wasn't Egypt. It wasn't Tanzania. It was Jordan. And had that goal set there. So I had a vision board, and it had like a flight from like Air Canada. Then it had a really nice apartment in a town called Aqaba, and it had like a view of the Red Sea. And I had like all the things on my vision board. And that happened probably like around 2018. So like a little before I got my passport. So 2018. And it was there. We didn't leave it to 2021, so it took me around 3 years to accomplish things in my vision board. But it happened in a way that wasn't necessarily exactly how it was, but quite similar. So on that vision board, I had like Air Canada on there, but we didn't fly Air Canada. We flew Air Egypt, which is a subsidiary of the same airline, right? I had an apartment that was in Aqaba, but I'm not in Aqaba. I'm in a whole different city, which I don't say the name of, but it's literally facing the exact same sea, which is the Red Sea. That picture was facing, that the ocean, or that apartment in that picture was facing, right? And so, I already had this kind of mapped out in my mind for quite a while, and even on the vision board for quite a while. It just took some time for it to come to fruition, right? It took around, I guess, 3 years. And so, like that was a win for us, because during that time, we were living in Hunter Knife and Ballong at first. Then we moved to downtown. You know what I mean? We were, just figuring things out. I was working at Amazon, basically making no money.
Just making it.
Yeah, 19 years old, I don't know, making no money, $300 a week maybe. I don't even have a car. I'm having to borrow Shane's car to go to work. We're barely getting by, we're barely surviving. And so that in our mind was like a big thing. Like, if we can do this, like we're winning, and now it's like, okay, we need to set bigger goals, you know what I mean? And bigger targets. Because if you, like, even Elon Musk was talking about this, like either you're growing or you're decaying. There's one of the two options. So you always want to be growing. You always want to be expanding. And because we've already hit certain goals, it builds a little bit more confidence that you can hit other goals. And so you might as well kind of think as big as you possibly can. And so for us, winning in 2024 looks like not necessarily outcomes. I don't think we're focused so much on outcomes, but more so inputs. Because we can't control outcomes, but we can control our inputs. And so one input, for example, is consistency. Like we've built a pretty solid business, being inconsistent, right? Posting here, then there, then stop posting, and then post again here and there, then stop posting, or You know what I mean? We got this one offer that we push, make a lot of money from this offer. Then we just, for some reason, we stop selling the offers. Like, why do we stop selling the offer? I don't know. Then we create a new offer. I think I get have like ADHD where I get bored. I want to sell something new. But I think for this season of our life, it's just about being consistent in everything that we do, for the most part, because if we can be consistent with the inputs, the outputs will not be consistent. The outputs will be exponential, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because things start to stack after a while. So yeah, just things like that, right? Kind of analyzing your life. And I think as well, what do you got to say, Shan, as far as um setting goals? Like, how do you feel about setting goals? You know what I mean?
I feel like setting goals is definitely super crucial in life, and having a clear goal, not just a goal that you kind of just throw out there and it's kind of just a broad spectrum. I feel like you really have to get specific with your goals. And that's something that I have been working on. Thanks to my brother, he's definitely been helping me hone in on being able to express what my goals are. So I feel like being very specific will help you achieve those goals because you know exactly what you're working towards, you know exactly what you want the outcome to be, and you know exactly what the input needs to be in order to get to that goal. So I feel like definitely setting goals is super important, but setting very clear goals is crucial.
Right, exactly. Now, when it comes to, let's say, goal setting, in your personal opinion, you know, what are some tactics that people can use, like tactical portions that they can do?
Hmm. For me personally, I feel like I always need to kind of set aside some time to really think about it. Because if I'm doing things and I'm kind of working or doing other stuff, I'm distracted. I'm not able to really get specific in my goals, and it kind of just the days go by, and I'm like, whoa! I look up and it's a week has gone by, and I haven't even thought, about my goals. So I say definitely taking the time to set some, a few minutes aside and really think and just
Mhm.
jot it down in your notebook. I feel like journaling is really, really important. That's something that I
Right,
also,
right.
yeah, I've started to do that more probably in like the last 2 years, and I feel like my life has improved so much by journaling and taking notes and writing down my goals and making them really, really clear. So I say setting aside the time is definitely the most important thing for me.
Exactly. Okay. So for me, I say tactical is about setting goals because I feel like I've achieved a fair amount of goals in my life. You know, just as far as I knew I didn't want to work for someone else. I knew that from the jump. My mom would always tell me, my mom would always tell me a lot of things, but one thing she would always say is everyone likes an ass, not everyone likes an asshole. So she would
Mhm.
always say that I was very stubborn about what I wanted and relentless of getting it to the point where I was what she would call a asshole, right? And she would always say, what does she say about like something about you can't follow somebody? What else did she say? Like she always say like you gonna have to be on box if you can't follow somebody, but it was like a southern saying.
I don't remember that way. You
Yeah,
can't follow somebody?
I don't know. I had to re-go on my memory, but I always
Yeah.
knew that working with somebody probably wasn't going to be the thing that I wanted to do, and I had to do it reluctantly. Like I said, at some point, it was just make or do or die type situation. But
Mhm.
I always was very clear on what I wanted, and I made sure that everything that I did kind of helped to progress me towards that goal, right? And so a lot of people think that okay, you left, I guess, the Matrix, corporate America, at age 21. You must have had a shortcut, right? Or things must have been easy for you, but that wasn't the case, right? Because I started this whole I want to make money online at age 14, right?
Mhm.
So I wasn't able to go full time until 21. So that's 7 years. Okay. And for the first 3 years of this, I made no money. Right. And so, like a lot of people think that it was just like an overnight thing. No, it was consistent and constant effort, consistent and constant embarrassment. People saying, "Oh, you switch things every day. You know, you're not sticking to nothing." Da, 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 da. Like people were,
That's true.
family members were unhappy with it. All you do
Mhm.
is sit on the computer all day. Da, 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 da. You know what I mean? So it was a battle, but I had to stand on business, as they say now, and continue to push forward. You know what I mean? And now I'm in a position where not only am I able to be in a good position myself, I'm able to kind of transition what I know to say Cheyenne, who put herself
Mhm.
in a good position, to be able to do the same thing. And now I have people like students, like my guy like Manny, you know what I mean, who I'm
Mhm.
able to transfer my knowledge, right, over the last now I'm 24, so it's like 7, 8, 9, 10 years almost. over to people like Manny, right? And to my students who are inside of my my program, right? If you guys don't know, I have a coaching program where I help people to transform what they know into a digital product. Okay, digital products are the wave; they're the way to go. Okay, digital products are amazing for a couple of reasons. Number one, there's no product cost, right? So let's say I sell one student. Let's say I sell one student. Let's say I'm selling $100 course. I sell one student. Okay, my cost fulfillment is whatever I pay for my softwares. Okay, you can do softwares for free all the way up to a couple $100 a month. Let's say I use a free software. Okay, I sell one student, I make $100. That's pure profit. Let's say I then sell 1,000 students on that same product. My cost fulfillment is the exact same. But if you're selling a physical product, let's say we're selling these water bottles, and it costs me $1 to produce these water bottles. If I sell one, my product costs $1. If I sell 1,000, my product costs now $1,000. Right? So as you begin to scale up in a physical product business, your expenses also increase. But as you begin to scale up in a digital product business, your profits increase, but your costs do not. If that makes sense, right? For example, if I do have to pay for some softwares, if I have to pay for it in accordance to one student, it's kind of more expensive. But if I pay for it with the sales of 100 students, it's cheaper, right? If that makes sense. So you actually make more profit the more you sell, which is not necessarily the case with physical products. Second reason why digital products are freaking amazing is there's no way for it to get lost or damaged in shipping. Me and Shan, we started off in physical products. Shan is still heavy into physical products. I am not so much, right? I think I don't really have any physical product. Well, maybe like one or two, but for the most part, I'm all digital products right now, right? There's no, oh, this item got lost in shipping. Oh, it's taking too long. Oh, this item wasn't the color that I ordered it. No, it's just strictly, hey, this is what you pay for. Software automatically sends you out an email. Boom, that's it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And of course, you want to provide good customer service to people, but it's a lot easier to manage, right? And so yeah, they're just small things, but I'm big into digital products. That's kind of my main thing now. I love it. And we would help other people to do the same thing. But yeah, so it took 7 years, Logic, to even get to the position where I was comfortable going full time. So certain things take time, and a lot of it was due to the fact that in the beginning I didn't value paying other people to learn from them, to shortcut my time frame. I didn't have money to pay people at 14. And then other portion of it was lack of focus. You know what I mean? You just think that something's supposed to work and supposed to work fast, but it's not necessarily the case. You kind of have to pick one business model and then stick with it until you force it to work.
And then another thing I want to touch on is digital products. You can sell it from anywhere in the world. You don't have to be there to, fulfill the order. You don't have to be there to label and package the order. If you need a return, if somebody wants to return it or they have a complaint and they want to send it back, you have to be at a physical location in order for them to do that. But with digital products, there's no need to return because you got it straight to your inbox, like you said.
Exactly. Straight to the inbox. You know what I mean? Straight to the inbox. Which allows you to do some pretty cool things. You know what I mean? And then you can also always update the product. You know what I mean? Like I just did like a version 3.0, which is what I've been working on heavily of my coaching program. You know what I mean? I'm working on version 3.0, So, okay, boom, you guys make it look easy. My question is, how much do I need per month to live and do some activity that you guys are doing in different countries when they're traveling? I like specifics. Yeah, so, I mean, you have to let us know what do you want to do? Are you trying to just travel to different locations? So we spend a lot more money when we're traveling than we do when we're living on a location. You live in a place, it's different than when you visit a place. And then secondly, what kind of lifestyle are you used to living? For example, if I go to Egypt and want to make a tour, or I want to go eat places, you guys, how much would it cost per month? Yeah, so tours, how much you say it was a tour will be a tour in Egypt? I don't think we've ever done a tour. We usually just kind of just do it on ourselves, do it on our own mostly.
Yeah. No, I never did a tour before, so I'm not sure.
Never did a tour before, but I know Matrell on a Mission, she does tours. We got my guy Manny hit us with a super chat. He said, salute to y'all. I wish y'all more blessing, more wins 2024 for sure. You know what I mean? Shout out to my guy Manny. You know what I mean? And shout out to, really everyone who is a brand builder, right? We're going to be building a brand builder community bigger and better this year. You know what I mean? Doing more community building for sure within all my students. So that's going to be fun. But shout out to my guy Manny. You know what I mean? You guys are going to see him launch his, brand business here soon. Pretty soon. Like his stuff is pretty much finished. He just has to record some videos and things like that. But He has a killer site, and yeah, I can't wait to see his testimonial. So okay, yeah. So okay, now food, man, is all dependent upon how you want to live. Because you can go to a place like Gad, right? Let's say Gad or Jad, however you want to call it, and you can spend 5 Egyptian pounds in a sandwich, what it used to be. What's it now, like 7 pounds?
About 8.
About
Yeah,
eight
about
pounds.
8.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
about 8 pounds. So you can spend 30 cents on one sandwich, right? You can go get 5 sandwiches and be good. Or I would go get. Dang, hold on.
I feel like it depends on what you eat. We don't really eat like meat. We don't eat seafood. Like we don't eat things like that. So, you might spend like 10, 15 bucks on a steak, but that's not something that Eddie or I will order when we go to a restaurant. So it also depends on your eating habit. You know,
Right,
so I'll
right.
get some sandwiches or maybe a shawarma, which is about $1, per shawarma, and
Well, the
then Eddie
shawarma was
might
like
get.
75. So it was like, was it 75? Yeah, it was. I think
I
I think
never
it's
paid no
75.
75. They like 56 now. When we first came, there was like
Nah,
30
I think
something.
more than that. I feel like that might be like $2 for a shawarma. I feel like it might be, yeah, no, for the beef shawarma too. I think it was
I
75,
never
Shay.
got the beef. I got the chicken. The chicken was
Yeah, I think
cheaper.
I think it used to be 250 for a beef and maybe $2
Hmm.
for a chicken. Like I think it was. But
Okay.
yeah, Logic. So let's say, for example, for me, Logic, like I'll show you. So this is what I went today. I got some halloumi cheese. So halloumi cheese. I got 2 orders of halloumi cheese, and that turned out to be 200 Egyptian pounds. 200 Egyptian pounds is probably like $6.31. Then what I would do is take that halloumi cheese. I get some tomatoes. I cut up some tomatoes, and I make like a tomato stew. Okay, it's a dish that I had when I was in Thailand that I like. It's an Indian dish though. It's called paneer bahuji, or I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's tomatoes. It's usually cottage cheese. Cottage cheese is okay to me, but halloumi way better. So I make the dish, but instead of putting cottage cheese, I put halloumi cheese in there. Then I make roti bread. All right. So the flour is going to cost me 25 Egyptian pounds. Um, I put a little bit of water in there. Water, you just always have water in your house anyway. Tomatoes, you can get like a kilo of tomatoes for like 10 Egyptian pounds, 15 Egyptian pounds. So that means like 50 cents for 1 kilo. A kilo is 2.2 pounds. So I get 2.2 pounds of tomatoes for around 50 cents, maybe less. And then you make that whole meal. So that whole meal might cost me, the cheese, the most expensive part. So, it might be a $7, $8 meal, but you eat off that, for an entire day and you're pretty much good. So yeah. Boom. What's to say? I'm basically asking worst case scenario, what's the most you had to spend per month in any country? Um, yeah, but you gotta answer the question: are you trying to live in a particular location, or are you trying to visit? Because if you're just visiting, you're gonna stay in Airbnbs. Okay, if you're living, you're gonna rent out an apartment. If you're renting out an apartment, for an example, you're gonna be spending maybe $200, $300 a month. If you're doing Airbnbs, you might be spending $800, $900 a month. If you're going to a place like Tanzania, you say you want to live, you're gonna have to spend 6 months of rent up front. So that means you're gonna take $500 times six. So that's going to be an expense. That's going to be a big expense for that particular month. So it depends on if you're living or if you're just visiting. If you're coming in, you're coming out. It varies a lot, right? When it comes to travel logic, everything is nuanced. Everything is nuanced because I can
Hmm.
go to I can go to a country right now, go through immigration, and they give me a hard time. And you can go to the same exact country, the same exact day, but you just were one person behind me, so you went to a different immigration person. They give you an easy time, right? Nothing in travel is a set in stone. That's why I'm saying your tolerance for risk has to be a little bit higher when you are traveling, right? Because there's nothing that's guaranteed. My experience in Egypt, I've had people tell me I went to Egypt and they spat at me. I went to Egypt and they said all these racist things to me. I went to Egypt and they harassed me. I went to Egypt and they grabbed me up and I'm a woman. So it's like, but I've been here for so many years and it hasn't happened to me, anyone that I know personally. But at the same time, it does happen, apparently, to some
It
people,
does. Yeah.
right? And so it's hard to give you. I don't want to mislead people, so it's hard to give you a set in stone like this is how it's going to be for you because this is how it was for me type of logic. And so I always caution people that okay, look, these are things that I normally look at, these things that I normally do, but it might be different for you, right? Because I don't want anyone to ever have the ability to say, get on the internet and say, Eddie told me this, this, and this, and it wasn't that, right?
Right.
I'm very proud that if you look my name up anywhere online, people have good things to say on me, right? And so I don't want to um, let's say, tell people stuff that's not 100% true, or that I cannot 100% guarantee someone, you know. But yeah,
And there's so many factors, you know, do you
mhm.
eat once a day, twice a day, 3 times a day? You know, do you eat out? Are you gonna cook? You know, it's different things, you know, so there's no specific number.
There's really no specific number, you know. But I'll say for like a place like Egypt, comfortably you can live off of, you can live a middle class life for $800 a month. I would say a comfortable middle class life, $800 a month between a decent apartment, um, eating out once or twice a day, um, having even motorcycle like we do, putting gas in there. Gas is increasing a little bit, but it's still small enough. Um, what else do we do? We got pets, but yeah, like you can live a middle class life here for like $800 a month.
Yeah.
Um, I would say comfortably. You know what I mean? And that's not like that's not budgeting to the extreme, but that's not also going as high as you possibly can go, right? If you want to live in like a place like Lakeview, you know what I mean, in Cairo, where you got people who drive Ferraris and Lamborghinis, all that type of stuff, you might spend $800 just on a rent, right? But if you want to live a decent middle class life in a place like Egypt, $800 a month, I say would do you well on average. Some months might be more, some months might be less. But yeah. If you guys are on here right now, let us know what your guys' plans are for the new year. Drop a like in this live stream, drop a like in this live stream, and let us know like how do you plan on winning? So winning. So how do you plan to win, Shan, in 2024? Like give us the blueprint. What's your 3-step plan to like acquire wins?
I say number one is definitely mindset, doing a lot of mindset work, working on myself, and
Mhm.
just overcoming those fearful thoughts of like, can I achieve this? Is this too much? You know,
Right,
or
right.
just having those doubts and stuff. So I say mindset is number one for me.
Hmm.
Number two is constantly acquiring new skills or updating the skills that I have learned, you know,
Right.
so far. I feel like that's huge. Skills right now are where you can make money online. So I feel like
Mhm.
sharpening my tools when it comes to skills is definitely a huge one.
Right.
Uh, Definitely, like I was saying earlier, making clear goals, you know, really writing out those goals and being super specific.
Right.
Uh, and then to follow that up, I say holding myself accountable to those because you can write out your
Mm.
heart, but if you're not holding yourself accountable,
Right.
you're not, you know what I mean? There's no progress being made. So I say holding yourself accountable is something that's also along those lines of success.
I think that's big. No half measures. No half measures. Like
Mm-hmm.
the moment you start to do something that's not your goal, it's so much easier. It's called micro commitments. And so in a game of marketing, we do micro commitments. We get people to make a small commitment, then a small commitment, then a small commitment, a small commitment, then a big commitment later on. And
Right.
so it's like if you go to a female, you can't just say, "Hey, see you the first day, marry me," right? She's going to say no. But if you say, "Hey, how you doing? Let me get your number. Okay, maybe I'll call you later." Then she texts, follow up, boom, boom, boom. Go on a date, go on a second date, all these different things. Then maybe at some point down the line, you say, marry me, she's going to be much more likely to say yes. But you can't just off the rip go out like that, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so most of the time, what ends up happening is people set these goals. I've noticed this for myself. People set these goals, and then they're like, okay, like let's say for example, dieting. Because see, I'm a skinny guy. I'm skinny, guys. I'm skinny. Okay. For me to gain weight, I need to eat more. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
I'll start eating more. Then once I get full, it's like I do not want to eat no more. I do not want to eat no more food. And I have to like force myself to do it. So then one day I'm like, okay, today my stomach hurts so much, I'm just not going to do it. And then it's like, okay, you don't do it. And then tomorrow it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna eat, but I'm just not gonna eat the same amount of calories I'm supposed to eat to do this. And so then it's like little by little. The next thing you know, 2 weeks down the line, you gave up on the goal completely. You're just eating how you normally eat. Now, for most
Mm-hmm.
people have this problem in reverse, where it's like they can't stop eating. You know what I mean? So like, okay, I'm gonna eat healthy. I'm not gonna eat this, I'm not gonna eat this, I'm not gonna eat that. But then it's like, okay, well, I can just have one Hershey's Kiss. It's not gonna hurt. It's just one. Boom. The next thing you know, it's like, okay, well, I only had one, so it really wasn't that bad. So today I'm wondering like, and then it's this next thing you know, the diet is crashed. You know what I mean? Two
Right.
weeks later. And so thankfully I'm able to apply a level of self-discipline in other areas of my life. Just with the food,
That's
it's just
huge.
it's hard for me, right? But no half measures. Once you set these goals, you can't let those small little cracks come in, right? It's like your life is like a dam. If you start having a small crack in a dam, even that small crack is all it needs to eventually keep it rolling at that spot and the whole thing break, right? And kind of screw you. And so, like Shan was saying about being accountable, you can't allow, even small things to come in and kind of whack you. That's a big thing.
And I think the last thing for me is definitely to cut out distractions. I think that's a huge thing, because if you're always distracted, you're not focusing on what you need to focus on. So for me, like I've cut out music, or my thing, I have an addiction to watching TV. I love watching TV, even if I'm working and I can listen to something in the background, like even if I can't even see it, that's how addicted to it I am. Like I'll just listen to an entire series in the background of my work. So cutting out distractions have been like a huge thing for me. So I would say that's the last thing as far as, working towards your goals and being successful for the new year for sure.
Right, right. And I think, like you were saying, is that the mindset is probably number one. It's the most important thing, right? If you guys look at, okay, this is my Bible. Don't laugh, okay? Both the covers are off. I've had this since I was 12 years old, okay? So it's kind of, I need a new one. But one thing that it says in there is don't try to put new wine in an old wine bag, right? It also has another one, which is like, don't apply a new patch of fabric to an old garment, right? And so, with, let's say, the fabric one, let's say you have a dingy shirt, the shirt is ruined. You can go get you can get a new 100% gold fabric and put a patch of that on there. It doesn't make the shirt new, right? And so you can go get a notebook and write these things down. But if you don't even believe in yourself and in your mind that you can achieve it, it's not going to work, right? You can follow all these. I'm waking up at 4 a.m. I'm jumping in a cold shower. I'm going to beat my chest 3 hours a day, do 100 push-ups. But if you are not having the right mindset, things won't pan out for you, right?
Correct.
And so, triple B, believe before becoming, right? That's the belief. You know what I mean? Is really important. And a lot of people want to know how do you develop this belief, right? And I would say let's say for me, I'll go for myself as an example. I use past experience, right? So I look at my life, I look at things I've done in my past that exemplify my ability to do things that other people don't believe that I'm able to do. So for example, when it came to riding a motorcycle, I never rode a motorcycle before. I never knew how to do these type of things, but I just saw it in my mind and I knew I could do it. I saw it in my mind, I knew I could do it because I had past belief or past experiences that confirm that belief, that when I put my mind to something that I can achieve it, right? And so what I would do is like, I would set my goal, right? Let's say I want to buy a Lamborghini. It's a stupid goal, but I want to buy a Lamborghini. Let's say that's a goal, $400,000 car. Okay. I'm going to say, okay, what other goals have I set in the past that I've been able to achieve? Right. So what I'll do is I'll stand in the mirror and I'll literally say, I'm an extremely capable and competent person. Anything that I put my mind to, I achieve. Then I do a past example. I said I could drive a motorcycle and I've been doing it. Right. Not only have I been doing it, I've been doing it in the most dangerous country to drive in the world for the last 2 years and I'm still alive. Okay. And I'll say
That's
it again.
a topic too.
That's exactly. And I'll say it again. I'm an extremely capable and competent human being. Anything I put my mind to, I achieve. I said I'll move out of America and I've done it. And not only have I done it, I've sustained it for the last 3 years. I'm an extremely capable and competent human being. Anything I put my mind to, I achieve. And I repeat it. Then I'll go out and say, I'm an extremely capable and competent human being, right? I will do this. I will buy this $400,000 Lambo. I will do this. I will do this. I will do that. Because regardless of if you believe it or not, you're being brainwashed, right? Either by the schools, which is created by John D. Rockefeller, who said, "I have no interest in creating a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers." Right? You're being brainwashed by the things that are on the TVs, as you know. Kanye West talked about the particular group of people who control a lot of the media, and what they're brainwashing you into. You're being brainwashed one way or another. And so, like what Shan was saying, first thing you want to do is kind of cut out the stuff that is brainwashing you, cut out the music, cut out the TV shows, cut out the family members that talk crazy, the friends that talk crazy, that just keep you down. Then the next thing is to replace that programming, change that programming, put programming in that you want there. How to Win Friends and Influence People, Think and Grow Rich. It's a decent book. Another book, Psycho-Cybernetics, probably a lot better than Think and Grow Rich in my opinion.
Right.
You want to start putting in new programming into your mind. Of course, scripture. You know what I mean? You want to put new programming into your mind, you know what I mean? And that is going to be probably the biggest determining factor on if you will actually run the scripts that you are writing out, you know. But everybody has confidence. Everybody has confidence, but you got to go back into the past and pull from it. Um, and I give a real life example. I give a real life example. So right now, for example, I'm 24. You know, I'm getting to a point where now, okay, I need to say, let me start dating a little bit more. Let's start maybe, you know, going into that phase of life. I've never been that big of a dater. I've never been, you know, Mr. Smooth, oh, Rizzer up. That's never really been me or my thing, right? But the way that I am programming myself now is that, I mean, I'm a very influential person. I've got 50,000 people that follow me online, 30,000 on TikTok, another 22,000 on YouTube. I'm influential, right? And so I say, so in my mind, if I can do this, I can riz up people, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so that's what it is. You take past successes and you apply it to what you're trying to do now, right? And so like that's one of the things. So you guys will probably see. I'm probably not gonna show too much of that on the channel, but you guys might see a little bit more of a dating scene in different countries. I know a lot of people want to see it. Now I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I can deal with it. So you guys will probably see a little bit more of that. Can you see the comments?
Yeah, so we got a comment from Logic. He said, what I'm trying to ask is, what's the highest threshold you've broken so far? For example, have you went past 2,000, 3,000, or 4,000 USD? And then has there been any situations where you had to break these limits because I ain't rich? So I guess he wants to just know like our
Okay.
personal, like how much we've ever spent on food a month.
Okay, got you. Okay, cool. So I can answer that for you, Logic.
Mhm.
I am going to drop in the chat. Go ahead, drop the link in the chat for them to sign up for the live event. We're going to be hosting a live event, guys, soon. January 9th, we're going to be hosting a live event. Click that link that's in the chat right now and sign up for it. You know what I mean? We're going to be talking about how I built a YouTube. I can actually pin it. I can pin it to the top too.
Okay.
How I built a YouTube brain business that allows me to fire my boss and travel the world the last 3 years. So if you guys want to know how I go about actually earning the income, how I go about actually earning money, you guys can actually click that link, sign up for the free training that we're going to be having. This is going to be pretty cool. It's going to be really, really, really cool. So we're going to talk about and share some of the secrets. We're going to share some of our stories, right? Things have not always been sunshine and rainbows, and things like that. And so, honestly, Logic's question is going to be answered on that training, right? I have a story that I'm going to tell you guys about that. You know, but yes, Logic, we have had to spend more than 4,000 a month, and it was an extreme case scenario. I don't think it's going to always happen like that. But that's why you don't just come. You should have some savings, have a little bit of savings. You know what I mean? But for the most part, if you do things right now, knowing what I know, I wouldn't have to have spent more than that. But if you do things the right way, Logic, you'll be okay. You know what I mean? And if you're trying to move to a place, just contact somebody who lives there and kind of get the rundown as far as that. You know what I mean? If you're coming to Egypt, of course, you can reach out to me. You have my emails always in the description. But if you plan on traveling around, just reach out to people and kind of get a baseline of everything. But for the most part, man, you want to spend more than 4,000 a month.
Manny laughing as you talk about riz people up.
Oh yeah, nah. Yeah, you gotta learn how to riz. You gotta learn how to riz. So, and the thing about it is like, and that's why I was telling Manny the other day is that in a place like Egypt, bro, like it's not that many for me black women. You know what I mean? So when I was in another area, I started seeing more of them. So I started doing a little bit of riz, but it's not enough. You know what I mean? You run into 1, 2 every week, every 2 weeks. You gotta have more options. So that's why for me, you know what I mean. You gotta be mindful of the country you choose too. Um, I'm not asking how you earn income, simply from my own perspective. What's the worst case scenario? For my expenses, I only have $4,000 a month. I have about $109,000 saved right now for emergencies, but I want to live off $4,000 a month. Yeah. I mean, yeah, so I don't need to answer the question again, man. You can live off of that, right? Like I said, you can live a middle class life here in Egypt for $800. Depending on the country you go to, it might go up to 2,000, might go up to 3,000. But for the most part, man, you should be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's on here, definitely leave a like. Winning in 2024. What else you got for us, Shane? What else you got for us? Anything else? I need some more water.
No, I mean I told you what I think the
Hey,
blueprint
USA
is.
Miss Kenya. Shout out to those guys, man. I've been watching your channel a lot, man. I appreciate the content you guys drop over there. And you guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna expose it. Should we expose some of our travel plans or not?
Expose it. Go ahead and let them
I'm
know.
not saying Kenya's on the radar, but I'm definitely not saying we haven't been doing research. So shout out to USA Miss Kenya. Shout out to my guy Kid Greatness as well.
Shout out USA Meets King and shout out y'all. Appreciate y'all for hopping in this live.
If you guys don't know, American guy, went on Tinder. We just talking about Tinder. Rizzing him up, riz up this one Kenyan girl, married her, has a kid. Well, I don't know if he married her, but has a kid with her, and they document their kind of life on their channel, which is really, really cool. I'm kind of seeing that whole dynamic. So yeah, shout out to USA Meets Kenya. But what were we saying, Shan?
What
were we saying?
No, I didn't say anything. I was just saying, staying disciplined. Staying disciplined is the last thing that I have as far as to be successful. Blueprint.
Yeah. Follow the blueprint logic. You know what I mean? As long as you're a disciplined person, you should be okay. You know what I mean? I say live well within your means, live comfortably within your means, and you'll be okay. You know what I mean? One thing about, let's say, me and Cheyenne is we're not super like, I need to have the best of the best. You know what I mean? Like, and just trying to overdo it. And so we're able to save a crap ton of money. You know what I mean? And what we do is we just put it into treasuries, put it into treasury bills. Right now, treasuries guys are paying 5%. So if you are an American and you have your money sitting in a bank account, I don't understand why you would. The U.S. government, you can loan money to the U.S. government in the form of treasury bills, and they will pay you 5% a year. Sometimes even more than that. I think it might be even like 5.36%. But that's what we do. You know what I mean?
Man, you got the hide on deck.
Got had a high. Yeah, I went to the store today and they had the big ones, so I was able to grab some of those. But I got to get the jug.
Okay.
So let's say for people who want to know Egypt. So this right here is an 8-liter bottle of water. This will cost 22 pounds. Right now, $1 is 30 Egyptian pounds. So that means what's 22 pounds in like 70 cents?
That's about 70, yeah, 77.
Yeah, so you can get that big water for like 70 cents. If you buy bottles, you get less of a deal. So this right here is a 1.5-liter bottle. What does it cost? 6 pounds?
About 7
Yeah,
pounds.
like 6, 7 pounds. So you can do the math. If it's 30 pounds per dollar, that's like 7. You kind of can see that, right? Just to give you guys references of price, right? You can buy like soap. So I'll buy like, I'm kind of a hippie. So this right here, for example, is olive oil soap. So it's made from olive oil, glycerin, and some little oil, so like one natural oil. That soap can be like 5 pounds, 6 pounds. It's just 3 ingredients, right? There's none of the sodium SLS, something called sodium lauryl sulfate. It's an ingredient you want to avoid because it's like a big skin irritant. If it's in a lot of toothpaste, it's a foaming agent. And so it'll cause like a lot of issues in your mouth and things like that. Or if you're using a soap, it'll cause like rashes and dryness, especially if you're a black person. So you want to avoid certain things. So you can get a really natural pure soap for like 5 pounds, right? So like a couple cents. So Egypt is a very, very affordable place to live, in my opinion. That's why I've been here so long. The people are very friendly. People are very nice. You know what I mean? We have motorcycles here. We drive around. We don't have issue with the police. Let me actually plug my.
And that's good you're showing them the soap because for us, like we like stuff like that. Like we like the natural soap and that stuff kind of works for us. But someone may come and like only the body wash, that has a lot of fragrance or, they may want like a different type of like a Dove or something like that. And that may cost them a few dollars a bottle every time they purchase instead of 5 pounds for the bar of soap.
5 pounds for that. So, exactly. And so I'll say like this, for example, this right here is Castile. If you guys don't know about Castile soap, you should know about it, especially if you live in the States. But it's like a does everything kind of soap. It's made from olive oil as well. But like you can use it to like wash your clothes. You can use it to wash dishes. You can use it as hand soap. You can use it as body soap. It does pretty much everything. As a really good face wash, right? So you can find, this was like, how much was it, Shan? We pay for that?
I think 195.
195. So maybe like $5-6. So, you can find relatively good for you products for a low price if you look for it, especially like in a place like Cairo. They pretty much have everything from shea butter, which they usually import from Ghana. They have, what is this? Like, for example, this is like castor oil. This right here is like 50 pounds maybe. Yeah, maybe like 50 pounds for that. So you can get everything you want, Logic, for a relatively low price. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them. But other than that, I think we kind of covered the topic: how to win in 2024. You know, you gotta naturally still without the parabens and other chemicals. Right, right. You know, you want to live a natural life, a holy life. You know, you try to get to deodorants without the aluminums in there. You know, try to prevent Alzheimer's and all this type of stuff. One thing that is the only difficulty I found is finding toothpaste without fluoride. All the toothpaste has fluoride here, and it's not good. So that's the one thing that I haven't been able to find myself. But we did order some bentonite clay, so you can do like bentonite clay, activated charcoal, and like an essential oil, and that will kind of act as toothpaste. But that's something we didn't find. But yeah, how to win in 2024. I think the first thing is to define what winning is for you. Set your goal, have a very clear, specific goal. Then the second thing is like you cannot win if you're not in a position to lose, right? So we live in a world of dualities. I have right because I have left. I have left because I have right. There's up because there's down, so on and so forth. There's black because there's white. So we live in a world of duality. How can you win if there's no chance of you taking a loss? So, for example, logic is a logical person, right? For example, in this case scenario, he's very afraid. What happens if I go over 4,000? What happens if I go over 4,000? It doesn't matter if you go over 4,000. It's a risk. It's a risk you have to take, right? Is this a part? It's a part of traveling. It's a part of life. And so, if you really want to win, if you really want to start traveling, you have to understand that some things may go wrong, but if they go wrong, I can handle it, right?
Right.
That's a big mindset, and that's one of those things that I was telling you guys. What I say in the mirror, I'm an extremely capable and competent human being. Anything I put my mind to, I achieve. So if I was in a lot of situation and something happened where I might have to spend more than 4,000, I'm going to figure out a way to solve it. Maybe there's a way I can spend less than 4,000, or maybe there's a way I can just quickly drop something in and make more than 4,000, or right, like you'll figure it out. You'll be okay, Logic. All right, be less logical. Be less logical. You got it.
You have to
You
be
know
a
what I mean?
little flexible when it comes to traveling, because sometimes you do have
Right,
to, like you say, go over your budget, or you have to get out of situations and you have
right.
to spend a little bit more money than you intended. But in order
Mm-hmm.
to, you know, accomplish what you need to accomplish, you may have to spend over that amount.
Man, spend over that amount. You know, it happens from time to time, man. He says, you know, what they say, be a boss, take a loss. You know, sometimes it
Hmm.
happens, you know. But you'll be all right, Logic. What else we talk about? What else we talk about establishing as far as winning goals?
Holding yourself accountable,
Right, holding yourself accountable.
distraction. Hmm.
New mindset, new mindset. You know, you gotta have a new mindset. Don't try to put new wine in an old bottle. Like you're gonna have to change your belief set, change your mindset. That's probably the biggest thing. Psycho-Cybernetics is a book that I recommend you guys all to pick up. Really, really good book. And it is an audio program on YouTube you can just listen to. That's usually how I do it because when you're in these foreign countries, it's kind of hard to find an English-speaking bookstore that has the books that you want. So sometimes you got to set up an audio book, even though I prefer physical hard copies usually. Other than that, I mean, you guys definitely join the training. Sign up for the training that we have linked in the live stream right now. I'll be posting about it on my community tabs as well. It's going to be happening January 9th. So if you guys want to know how to heck did a 21-year-old from the hood of Los Angeles put himself in a position to be able to travel around the world for the last 3 years straight, I'm going to be exposing that for you guys there on that training. All right. So be there or be square.
Absolutely.
Anything else we got for these people?
No, I just want to say thank you guys for jumping in this live. Thank you guys for interacting and showing some love and support. And make sure you guys sign up. You know, January 9th, it's going down.
Perfect, perfect. All right, well, that's going to basically conclude today's live stream, guys. I'm going to actually go ahead and call, you know, a lot of my family's still in the States, so I'm going to go ahead and call some of my family members and try to talk to them. It's usually what I do on Sundays. And then, yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. So appreciate you guys for watching. You can follow my sister on TikTok if you so desire. Her TikTok is The Informative Expat.
Yes, I'll drop it in there.
Yeah, drop it in there. The Informative Expat. You can follow her. I'm also on TikTok, but I don't really promote my TikTok on my YouTube channel. I kind of keep them separate. But boom, there it is. The Informative Expat. You guys can feel free to follow her. Other than that, guys, stay tuned. We're gonna Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, we're gonna try to do a live stream. Every Wednesday, it's me and Informative Expat. We're gonna try to do a live stream. We talk about random topics all over the internet. And just have a fun time talking with you guys. Shout out to USA Miss King once again. So happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year to you guys as well over there
Happy New
in
Year.
Kenya. I think they said they're going to South Africa soon. But around the time, we're probably going to be going over there. But who knows? Depends on what country we go to first. But either way, shout out to USA Miss Kenya. Really enjoy you guys' channel. Keep posting. You guys are dropping consistently. So I appreciate that.
Love
And
the
other than that,
content. Shout out to Manny too. Shout out to Manny.
Yeah, shout out to Manny as well. Shout out to Manny. Yeah, man, we're gonna see you guys in the next one. Y'all willing?